Alright guys, y'all know what we're talking about because y'all read the title, y'all saw the thumbnail, and y'all just now watched the intro. We were talking about my Mk12 Mod 5. Okay, so my Mk12 Mod 5. What is it? Well, it's a little bit of a play on the Mark 12 mod series of rifles. Mk12 verse 5 says, "But I will warn you whom to fear. Fear the one whom after he has killed you has the power to cast you into hell. Yes, fear him." So, growing up as a Christian, as a believer of the gospel, as a child of the one true King, when I see Mark 12, immediately I think scripture, Mark 12. So when I started to put this rifle together and I decided to run the PRI handguard, and obviously this is not a Mark 12, I was like, well, I'm just going to play on the way that I see Mark 12, and I'm going to do Luke 12. I'm going to pick one of the other gospels. So I was kind of flipping through, looking at Matthew 12, not Mark 12, Luke 12, and John 12, and talking to my buddy, and he said, we were talking about our favorite gospels, and I said, I really like John. He said, I like Luke. I like John personally because John had a closer relationship with Jesus. So when you read John's gospel, he's very personal about it. But he said, no, he said, I like Luke 12. So I went to Luke 12, started reading through to pick out which mod, you know, which verse out of that chapter. And I saw verse 5, and I was like, ooh, that is so hard. That is so cool. That would be such an awesome name for a rifle. So without any further ado, my Mk12 Mod 5. So now what do we have here? At the core, this is, well, first, let me drop the mag. And the rifle is empty. The magazine is not, but I'm gonna leave this out of the rifle while we talk about it, and then I'll throw it back in and we'll shoot it. So stick around, you are gonna get to see this thing shoot a little bit more. Y'all got to watch a little bit in the intro, but we're gonna shoot it out to 300, and we're gonna do some close-up stuff, and we're just gonna run it. So let's run over real quick and then we'll do that. But if you don't want to watch the details of it or whatever, I'm going to have each little segment of the video, I'll have a little timestamp down there in the description, so that'll put little marks in the video progress, and you can just kind of click down there and go through it and watch whatever portions you want to watch. Makes it really easy for you. I'm standing in a mud hole. It's like a butthole down there, just sucking up my foot. That's disgusting. All right. All right, so at the core, this is a Lead and Steel, just as good rifle. So their budget line of rifles. Lead and Steel did send out the rifle. They sent it out. This is actually one of the blemished versions. A real quick note on build versus buy. I prefer to buy and then build off of a bought rifle. Reason being is that I can buy a rifle that I know functions, and then I can slowly change the parts out on it to create whatever it is that I want to create. Sure, it costs a little bit of money, but I've got a functioning rifle throughout the whole process versus like piecing it together. You want to know what I don't really like about the TikTok ban? Is, sure, as you see in the headline, they're guilty of mining the user's data, like most companies are. You or I can go on the dark web and I can purchase your identity, I can purchase your information for just a few bucks along with anybody else's that I want to. So if the government can ban TikTok, why can't they hold these US companies accountable and protect your identity and protect your data? That's why I'm thankful for today's video sponsor, which is Aura. Now you can use the QR code that is right here on the screen. You can go to aura.com/overalls. I'll also have the link down in the description as well as pinned in the top of the comment section. Super thankful for Aura and all they do to support my channel, which also supports you and lets me put this content out to you so that you can be entertained and maybe learn a thing or two. So if you want to make sure that you can continue to do that with safe identity, then use today's video sponsor. Again, the QR code is going to be the best way to do that. Now with this QR code, Aura is giving you 2 weeks free trial, full membership benefits so that you can actually start being protected, and you get the first 2 weeks free. Who doesn't like free protection? So use the QR code right there. Just go ahead and screenshot it on your cell phone or take a picture of the screen that you're watching on with your phone. Scan that QR code. You'll get 2 weeks free trial, full membership benefits. That's parental control. That's cutting down on spammers, scammers, hackers, taking all of your identity back. And if they notice any of your stuff out there on the dark web, they'll notify you of it immediately. Again, aura.com/overalls, 2 week free trial, full membership benefits. Use the QR code right there. Thank you, Aura. Thank you for watching, and back to the video. So we'll go ahead and we'll start off from the butt. Now I'm running a Veltor E-Mod stock. To me, this is just the perfect Mark 12 stock if you're running the PRI handguard. And I will tell you exactly why. It took me forever to figure out why I thought this stock looked so good on a Mark 12s. We'll go ahead and collapse it down because it looks cooler that way. But here's what it is. It's my TISM that's got this thing going. All right. So the PRI handguard, you see, it's got the holes on it, and then it's got a Picatinny rail. The Veltor stock has this little zigzag pattern right here on the little cheek weld, which kind of mimics the Picatinny rail, and then you've got these little holes down here that go along with these holes. So the stock just looks like it mates up perfectly with this handguard. Again, it's just my TISM going. You may think something else, but to me, the Veltor E-Mod or whatever the iMod, the E-Mod or the iMod, doesn't really matter. But the Veltor stocks just pair perfectly as the sexiest looking stock if you're running the PRI carbon fiber handguard, as I am. Aside from that, I just really like the stock. I really like the Veltor stuff. It's got a good cheek weld. I like the little bag rider it's got down here. Moving forward there, I have the Difrico Kung Fu grip. So it's more of a vertical grip. Really like it. I'm running it on a couple different rifles. Sitting on top, I'm just running a mil-spec charging handle because that's what came in the rifle, and I have not changed that part out yet. The top rail, obviously, PRI, handguard, PRI. This is actually a 15-inch PRI handguard. So that's what's going to be a little bit different than like your standard Mark 12s. Most of your Mark 12s are running a 12-inch. The Mod O and the Mod H both run the 12-inch handguard. The Mod H is running a 16-inch barrel, so that's how you're still getting a little bit of overhang because they're running over the bore suppressors, and we'll get into that in just a second. The optic that I'm running is the Zerotech Trace Advanced. It's a 4-24 utilizing the trimmer through reticle, which you will get to see in just a little bit. That is sitting on some Tally tactical rings. They've got this cool little crossbones on it. Just really nice little detail. Obviously, I've got a trigger cam on here, but that's not specific to the rifle. That bounces around to all of them. Running the lead and steel trigger in here, so it is a flat face trigger. I'm not sure on the poundage. I would guess it's about 5 pounds. It's really clean break. I've got no complaints with the trigger. It is running an ambi safety. I'm not a huge fan of ambi safeties, as I've mentioned in other videos, just because I don't like when my hand's over here. I don't like the way that safety digs in to my knuckle right there, especially like a full length ambi safety. If it's a shorter one, it doesn't really bother me as bad, but not a huge fan of the ambi safety. So that might change at some point. It's not terrible on like a precision AR because it does give a little bit of like a thumb, you know, like a, what am I looking for? Like a little thumb rest right there. So it gives me a really consistent place. So it's not terrible on this setup. It might get changed, it might not. We will see. Moving forward of there, obviously the PRI handguard, and then I have got it wrapped with the Lunar Concepts Hot Pocket, and I've got the Lunar Concepts Bubba tab right there, so the little sling holder. Now, I posted a picture, I think a picture, video, I don't know, something of this rifle, I think maybe on Instagram, and somebody asked, why do you have the heat shield back here when that's so far away from any of the heat, away from the can, away from the gas block? First off, it looks cool. Second, the PRI handguard, let me pop this thing off. The PRI handguard is a pretty slick handguard, especially you know, behind the Picatinny section. Very slick. So this right here isn't for heat per se on this setup. I'm not utilizing it for heat. I'm utilizing it as a little bit of a grip. So on like slicker barricades and whatnot, that just gives me a little bit of grip, keeps it a little bit more stable as opposed to running the just the slick PRI handguard. That'll slip around a little bit. So that just gives me a little bit of friction, a little bit of traction when I'm resting on a little bit slicker barricades and whatnot, say a windowsill or you know, that kind of stuff. Moving forward of there, well, I guess that wasn't clipped in all the way. Yuck. All right, be sure that your rifle is clipped all the way into your tripod before you back away from it. Let's see, are we good? I think we're good now. Look at this. Would you look at this? Would you look at this? Look, oh man, that thing is gross now. Okay, now that we have done dropped the rifle in the mud successfully, moving forward of there, I am running a bipod up here. This is a Harris knockoff that I got for like 30 bucks, I think 7 years ago. It's bounced around from several rifles. I do not recommend knockoff stuff, but just in case you're curious, yes, this has held up fine, and yes, I have beat the absolute dog snot out of it. I've got no complaints really with it. It's cheap. Again, the thing is like 30 bucks. I got it probably 7 years ago, and I'm just running the paracord right there so that I can quick deploy it, you know, give it a, let's go ahead and pop this thing off again. You know, so that when I am running the rifle, I got that little piece of paracord, I can yank it down and deploy the bipod very quickly. That is on a QD mount, so I can very easily pop it off of there. Again, I don't recommend buying knockoff stuff, but if you're on a tight budget, the bipod is probably something that I'm okay skimping on, because I don't utilize a bipod often. Just my terrain and the style of shooting I do doesn't really lean well towards using a bipod. It's very hard to find that opportunity. Over here on the left side of the rifle, I am running an N-Force. This is a Gen 3 light. I know, ooh, gross, N-Force. I haven't run this light hard. It just now took a spill in the mud, but I have not run this light hard. I've had it for about a year or so. It's bounced around a little bit, but it still looks practically, it used to look practically brand new. So I'm just going to kind of test it out on here. I really like the ergonomics of the N-Force lights, as most people do, with that that thumb pressure switch right there. But I'm just testing it out. This isn't a heavy use rifle. This is just kind of like a whole vibe, if you will. If that thing craps out, well, it pops off in a hurry. I can ditch it and I can throw on a Surefire or whatever. So that's the situation we got going on for a light. Sitting up front, testing out this suppressor. So this is the same suppressor that was in my lever gun video. It's from C3 Firearms. They're a local company to me, and I'm testing out his can. It's overboard for 5.56. It is, I think, like a 36 or 38 caliber. I think it might be 38 cal. I can't remember the exact diameter. It's basically like a overboard 30 cal can, so that you can shoot something like 9 mil through it. It is 100% titanium. It is full auto rated, heavy duty, heavy use, full titanium can. And I'm just testing out on different platforms to see how it sounds. I've got that wrapped in a Coltac corset suppressor cover, just to mitigate heat a little bit, and you know, some of the mirage. It also looks pretty cool. Now, I've got this suppressor direct threaded. Let me cut real quick. Now, I've got this suppressor direct threaded. As you can see right here, the barrel just barely sticks out the end right there, just like a little bitty nipple sticking out of that handguard, because this is a 15-inch handguard and this is a 16-inch barrel. So I've got about an inch, and then once I direct thread this can on, well, it sits very, very flush. The difference between this like setup and say a normal Mark 12, even the Mod H, is Mark 12 Mod H and the Mod O both utilize the 12-inch PRI handguard. This is a 15-inch handguard. So while this has a PRI handguard and a 16-inch barrel, you don't get the same look as the Mod H, because, well, this has got a longer handguard. Still gives a similar look when the can is on it, because I'm not utilizing an over-the-bore suppressor. So I'm utilizing just like your standard run-of-the-mill direct thread over the top, like just you know, on the bore suppressor, not over the bore. So I went with a 15-inch handguard, the 16-inch barrel, so that I could still get that flush fit look without running over the bore suppressor. Now I went with a direct thread because it keeps it really as compact as possible, and it just mates up perfectly. I mean, it is let's see, block my eyes. There we go. It is like absolutely perfect fit as far as flush fit right there. Keeps it lighter weight, keeps it a little bit more compact. It also, direct threading means a better return to zero. And I'm not shooting this rifle unsuppressed because the muzzle is so close to the end of the handguard. I don't want to do that. So I just felt it was the best case to just run it direct thread. So that's how we're doing it. This is a 16-inch 1-7 twist chrome moly V steel barrel. I've got this rifle zeroed with your standard like 62 grain FMJ stuff. It was kind of the whole purpose of putting this together is I've got my comp rifle that's zeroed with 77 grain, like Hornady 77 grain Bowtail hollow point is the ammo that I shoot out of that. So I wanted something that I could shoot the lighter stuff out of. So I built this, zeroed it for that. That way when I'm shooting the lighter stuff, run this rifle. When I shoot the heavier stuff, run the other rifle. Obviously you can interchange, but that's just the way that I like to do it. I'm typically putting maybe a 2-inch group out of this rifle, so it's not precision, but it's precision enough for my uses. Again, this is not a heavy duty use rifle. I'm not going to war with it. I'm not going to war with anything. Good God, I hope not. I'm not really planning on competing with this. I might run it in a match just for the heck of it, but it's not like built for that. So it's a budget setup aside from the PRI handguard and the optic and stuff, but the rifle at its core is a budget option. It is Lead and Steel's budget line, and it's a blemished version at that. Doesn't mean anything. There's just one little nick on the handguard, but we're not getting into that. So yeah, I mean, it's at the core, it's a budget 16-inch rifle. Funny story real quick. I'm one of the people that it's not a Mark 12 unless it is a Mark 12. It's not a Mark 18 unless it is a Mark 18. Just because you feel that same role and just because you've got the same aesthetics does not mean that it's that same platform. Funny story real quick. So I was on a plane, on the plane, on my way to SHOT Show, and got sitting next to the dude. So another little funny side note, get to the airport and like 99% of the people that were on that plane, and we're on like a large plane because we're flying from South Carolina to Nevada, very large plane, and 99% of the people on that plane were like middle-aged men. So everybody was either going to SHOT Show or World of Concrete. So sitting there and sitting next to the dude, or sitting next to a dude, and he's like, so, which show you going to? Obviously, we're all going to one of two things. He says, you going to SHOT Show or World of Concrete? I said, I'm going to SHOT Show. He said, oh, that's cool. He said, you want to trade with me? I'm going to World of Concrete. I said, no, I don't really want to go look at concrete. I do that anytime. I didn't really want to go to SHOT Show either. But we got to talking, and he's like, yeah, he said, I've got a Mark 14 EBR. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude. I said, that's my holy grail rifle. I said, I love that thing. It's so awesome. And he's like, yeah, he said, I used one in the Marine Corps. And he said, so when I got out, I had a little bit of money and just had to buy one. He said, I just now got done putting together a Mark 12. And I was like, oh, I was like, dude, you're me. I want these things. I love the M1A, the EBR, and I love the Mark 12. I was like, which one did you put together? The Mod O, Mod 1, Mod H? Tell me about it. And he was like, he said, it's not like a clone correct Mark 12 because, you know, this is him talking. You can't get that unless you're in the military. Well, that's not necessarily true. You can get an absolute like 100% clone correct Mark 12. You just got to have the money for it. He said, but it meets all the specifications. So I thought, okay, he's like die hard, like, you know, he's got a Mark 12, but maybe like the optics mount or whatever, something changed, or he's got a different optic on it. He proceeds to show me a picture of just a spray painted tan PSA 18-inch barrel AR. Like that was it. Had an 18-inch barrel and it was spray painted. About it. That was about the only thing that was Mark 12ish about it. So if you're watching this, dude, no hate towards you. Again, no hate towards you at all. I don't mean any offense by it. I thought it was funny. It's just me. It's not a Mark 12 though, just because it meets the specifications of it. But it's your rifle, your money, your life. You do whatever you want to with your rifle and call it whatever you want to. You can call this a Gustav if you want to, a big old railgun. I don't care. Anyways, side note. So I know this is not a Mark 12. That's why I called it a Luke 12 Mod 5. For one, that scripture is absolutely baller. That's like, it's scary as crap when you actually think about it. You know, don't fear, because leading up to that, he talks about don't fear man, like mere man, for what can, you know, what can a man do to you. And then it goes on to say, but I'll tell you who to fear. Fear the one who, after he has killed you, has the power to cast you into hell. Yes, fear him. So, really, really powerful verse. I thought it was cool for a rifle, especially something like this that was, you know, the Mark 12 was designed to shoot physical people and put them in the ground. So, thought it was really cool. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the shooting portion of it, because that's far more exciting than me rambling on about the specifications of this thing. All right, real quick, because I know somebody's going to ask, how do I know that? Because I'm one of you. I watch YouTube. And when I see something, I got to know what it is. So, the bag that I'm using, I just now bought it. Literally, I unboxed it the day before filming this video. And I'm already 100% confident saying this is the best purchase that I will make all of 2025. And it's only February. But the bag is that awesome. Right now, I've got 2 tripods mounted on it. I've got a 16-inch rifle. The rifle in this video, 16-inch rifle suppressed in the scabbard. And you can see that it pretty much just swallows that rifle. I've got, well, I was hauling my camera stuff in here, so I've still got my mics and other lenses in here as well. I've got water bottles, I've got a shooting table, I've got the TP that you saw at the beginning of the video, the 2-vets TP, that tent thingy. I've got shooting table, I've got shooting bags, literally just everything that I would need for a range day. I'll toss my bino pack in here when I'm not using it. It makes range days, it's gonna make competitions. It just makes, coming down here and filming these videos, I can toss everything in it and it hauls everything like a champ. I've got it loaded down right now, probably about 60 pounds. And these straps and the hip belt on it carry it like a dream. So I know somebody's going to ask about it. Now, I'm not going to go into much depth in this video. I'm going to save that for a future video. So if you do want to see more on the Eberly stock low drag, I think this is low drag 2. Be sure to stick around. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and hit the bell notification so that you're notified when I do post it. I'm going to do a full video on this bag once I get a little bit more time behind it. Take it to a competition, maybe hunt with it a little bit, film a couple more videos, hauling all my camera crap around. Maybe go backpacking with it and just kind of give you my feedback on the low drag and how I've got it set up. All right, now I'm running the trigger cam because I know that y'all like to see that real quick. I'm sorry guys, I've got a lot of new gear and I'm really enjoying it, and that's what you're here for. You're here to see new stuff, get inspiration. Bag I'm running is the Weapon Snatcher bang bag. So it's got a little QD cup right there. I can mount it on to the stock. And then this really cool piece right here is the new Sun Shadow tack table or tripod table. This is the Gen 3. It's really, really lightweight, built-in Arca. Now you're probably wondering, why ain't I just clipping directly into the tripod? Because this is the 2-vets 55mm Arca and Picatinny mount head. And I've got Picatinny mount. Well, I've got a video going over this, but you're more stable running off of a bag and a table than you are clipped directly in. There's a time and a place for both, but today we're running, we're gonna run off the bag and the table. I enjoy it a little bit more. Let's go ahead, hit record. All right, we should be recording. So you're gonna be watching what I'm seeing. Do want to thank TA Targets. A lot of these targets out here are from TA Targets. So let's see. That one right there, the mini ADAP, that's from TA Targets. Let's go ahead and hit it. The popper right there is from TA Targets. This right here, TA Targets. So huge thank you to TA Targets for sending out a couple targets for the channel. Really, really appreciative. Best targets on the market, hands down. All steel is not created equal. TA Targets is the king of steel targets. All right, now let's shoot a little bit. See, I've got a plate back right there. Y'all see that one? Close one. See, there's one right there. Oh, that's it on this mag. Change magazines real quick. We ain't gonna shoot too many right here at 100. Didn't lock back. We ain't gonna shoot too much at 100 because I wanna shoot 300. let's see, we'll save that one. All right, y'all wanna go ahead and jump back to 300. Let's take one more. Let's go ahead and clear it. And we'll go ahead and we will take this target right here with one hit on it. We'll go ahead and throw that up on the post at 300. And then we will run on top of the hill and show you all that. Because that's what this rifle's made for. It's made to shoot mid-range. 300 yards is just now scratching that. There's just now like kind of barely squeaking in to the mid-range. Generally, I would say 400 is where you're hitting that mid-range, 400 to 600. And then past that, we're talking long range, which, I don't know, maybe we'll do that with this rifle one day. All right, guys, getting set up right here. Set my rifle down, set the bag down, looked, the ground. Check it out. I got an arrowhead. Arrowhead, this is the bottom part. This is where the tip of it's broke off. I found a couple of them in this area. Fun fact, I've actually found a bunch of them. I've got a case in the house slammed full of some really, really, really awesome arrowheads. But I haven't found too many on this property. A couple in this area, so it's pretty cool, ain't it? Just thought I'd share that with you. All right, let's get this TP put up. It's kind of funny, arrowhead and a TP. But I'm gonna put up the 2-vets TP, stay out of the sun a little bit, and then we'll start slinging some rounds down here at 300. All right, that's not too bad right there. That'll work all day long. Twice on Sunday. Or what is it? That'll work every day? Yeah, that'll work. I don't know. While we're getting set up, guys, if y'all have not already, be sure to check me out on Instagram. Keeps you up to date with everything going on. So new pieces of gear that we got in, or you know, maybe a new rifle that I put together. Just keeps you up to date with everything. Looking for my earplugs. There they are. Yeah, it keeps you up to date with everything going on. I also just now recently started a Facebook page. So it's just the same stuff I post on Instagram, but maybe you're not on Instagram and you are on Facebook. Well, I'll have that link down there as well. Again, it's just the exact same content that's on Instagram. But if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and follow that page over there as well. And that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I'll have that link down there as well, as I said. All right, I think we're good. Let's get the trigger cam pulled back up. Bag put behind me, give me something to rest up against. Pull this back. There we go. Thing does catch quite a bit of wind though. Look at that. Woo, it's gonna fly off. Hang on. There we go. All right, hopefully we're focused good. My phone ain't got good signal and I can't hardly see the screen. So hopefully we're focused good, but regardless, we're focused good enough for you to see what's going on. So we got that TA targets. It's a half size silhouette. We got it set up right there, which is 300 yards. I ain't gonna dial anything because it's 5.56 at 300 yards out of a 16-inch barrel. And then we're using 62 grain ammo, full metal jacket. So should be moving pretty good. I'm just gonna hold top target and see what happens. All right, I don't know if any of those hit. Can't see too good. Oh yeah, we got some impacts on there. All right, can't really see where these are going. I ain't getting a real loud report. I see a couple hits on there, I think. Let's see, we'll try holding a mill. There we are. All right, I think I gotta hold like, I think we're holding maybe 1.5 mils. Which is surprising. Let's see. 1.5 mils. No, that ain't it. There we are. All right, it's like 1/2 mil. But I think we got a little bit of wind going left to right, so we'll hold left. There we are. Yeah. Can't find out what the wind's doing. The wind's blowing pretty good. I think it's hitting us straight on, which makes, it's honestly one of my least favorite winds to shoot in is a straight on wind, because as it changes, your bullet changes. It's affecting the velocity. You got a crosswind, typically keep about the same velocity, you just got to count left to right. This right here, I'm having to, basically it's like I'm changing distances. There we are. See, wind died down. Oh, we can hold 1/2 mil. Wind's picking back up. There we are. All right, we missed. All right, guys, this wind's doing some funky stuff. Hopefully you heard of some of those impacts. It's not super loud, at least not with a foamy zone. Where we are, there we are. But there are some impacts on there, and I think some of them were loud enough. Hopefully you enjoyed this video somewhat. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed putting this rifle together. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it looks really good. If you've got any questions at all, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think about the Mk12 Mod 5. Again, I will tell you whom to fear. Fear the one whom after he has killed you has the power to cast you into hell. Yes, fear him. Let me know what you think about it. I think that's all I got for you, and I will catch you on the next one.